Hey everyone, Billy Hale in the Billy Hale Guitar Room. Today we're talking about the KGD right there. Relic Telecaster. Why? Why, Jim? Why? I own vintage Fenders. I own vintage Gibsons, 1950s, 1960s, and more. I wanted a Relic guitar. I wanted a Relic Tele. If you were to ask me what my soul guitar was, like a soul animal, is that what they say? I don't know what they say, but I would be a black Tele if you made me pick what guitar to come back as. It just represents me. And in fact, my daughter was like, yeah, you definitely are getting the black one, right? So after purchasing the white offset, which I loved out of the box, it needed just a couple of screws turned and it played great. It still plays great. I love this guitar. And then I modded the Libin tar out of it, which I'll send you a link to if you want to see how I put vintage gold foils and a surf whammy bar and all that stuff on here. But after I got it, I thought, I need that Telecaster. Now, what I really want, and KGD, I have a couple of things I want to say to you. If you happen to watch this video, first of all, this is hot. Don't get me wrong. But wouldn't it be hotter if it had a burst underneath the black? Any kind of burst, but just a very vintage burst and then the black on top. That would be awesome. I would buy another one just for that. Also, what I'm not seeing are thin line. A thin line would be really cool. That's really what I wanted, but I settled for this because it just looks so good. And what I want to do today is talk to you about, can you, as a guy who just wants a cool Tele, can you buy this and walk away? I'm going to tell you a few things you're going to need to do to get this Tele in fighting shape to go take it out. And then I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do, which is mod this guitar into a real Relic. And then I'm going to put a couple of tasty touches to it, which the tasty touches should be in front of me somewhere. I don't see them at this moment, which is how it always goes. First of all, let's start with why I bought it. The price, $229. What a deal. Why? Guitar bodies cost $200, y'all. You might get lucky and find one cheaper than that, but they're usually heavy or not cool. A Relic guitar body, even more. A light Relic guitar body, even more. So if I just got a Relic guitar body, I'd be happy. 2, a neck. How much are necks? If you go buy a Squire neck, which is okay, but I want a Tele neck. If you go buy a Tele neck, it's not $200, bro. It's higher than that. If you want a neck whose frets are ready to go out of the box and you don't have to take it somewhere, if you don't have to learn how to do it yourself, that costs more. So when you do the math, just a good neck and a good body is worth the price. But there's so much more. I am going to tell you the bad parts in just 1 second. The tuners, I'm happy with them. I'm a tuner weirdo, for real, not joking. And if the tuners aren't right, I will definitely put new tuners on it. I like these bean style tuners. They're not locking or anything, but they're fine. So let's go down to what was the first issue, the nut. Now, I will say I had one before this that I sent back. And I sent it back because I could not stop the frets below the 12th from buzzing when I got the action where I wanted it. Could that be me? Maybe. But this one worked. So I don't know. I'll tell you what else. That other Tele weighed 7.6 pounds. This Tele weighs 7 pounds. So I won. I was like, okay, I'm going to send it back. Oh, I should brag on that. I was like, hey, I'm not happy. And they said, put it in the mail and we'll send you another one right now. And you'll have it in 3 days. And I was like, oh, bingo. Yes, I like it. And that's what I did. So 3 days later on a Friday, it showed up and I was very happy. Whoever sets these guitars up, KGD, you need to let those people either A, learn how to really set up a guitar, or B, put them on something else like making boxes. The first thing you do when you get a guitar out is you touch it and try to play it. Now, I understand if their strings aren't in tune because you're shipping, but I tuned them up and the action was horrific. It was terrible. The nut was terrible. The nut has to be keep the strings a certain height off the frets. And they were really too high. And if they get too high, it messes up your intonation when you fret. And these were visibly, notably high. I knew immediately something had to be done. Then the other thing was and don't get me wrong, the hardware, I don't want to overshadow the good parts, which the bridge, the controls, control plate, all this stuff works great. I even don't have that much of a problem with these pickups if you just wanted to not spend any extra money and do this. But whoever set this up also put the barrels really high, like sky high, like what's going on here kind of high. So I'm going to tell you, there's no way I can reach it. But I was going to cut a new nut. And so I was going to get the files out or take the nut and make it right. And you can do that for sure. Instead, I went on Amazon because I've been really lucky with finding nuts for Telecasters. And I found a $6 nut that could be there in the morning. Maybe it was 2 days. Link below for that nut because you're going to want to know. I also bought like a $20 graphite nut or Graphtec. And that thing was too tall. Definitely, for that one, you'd probably have to sand the bottom until you get it just right. This nut, the height was right and the slots were right. The only thing that wasn't right was it was slightly wider than the groove in the neck. So I took sandpaper on a piece of wood and I turned it sideways and sanded it a little and put it in and sanded it a little and tried to put it in until it would slide in. It didn't slide in. It very firmly fit in, and I was like, that's it. That's exactly what I want. And when you do that, just make sure that you press that nut all the way in. This one wasn't even glued in. That's fine with me. I hate taking wood out, trying to get a nut out. And both of these, the one on the white right here, this nut was the same way. It was easy out, and then this is in. I did not glue this in. It seems not to care. It's in firmly. It has rollers on the string tree, which are great. In fact, I ordered 2, so I am definitely skipping around, but maybe that's best. It's a relic guitar without any relic parts. Does it matter? What is a relic? When they started out, we were faking old guitars. Those days are over. Now you just have a relic from Fender and spend a ungodly amount of money, and then you're cool. I like a relic because I can do things to the guitar, and if I screw holes here and there, like put a Bigsby on and go, no, I'm taking that off, well, that makes it more of a relic. So I can abuse this guitar, take it places. It makes it more of a relic as opposed to a queen that lives in a case and you're afraid to go anywhere. That's why I like a relic. So what I'm saying is a relic can look like anything. Now, you can leave it just like this. I think that's fine. It's pretty hot. Let's look at the back. Whoa. If you're wondering if this is kind of stuff is real, I have a 1946 Gibson back here, and the whole back is just raked with belt buckles. So it could be for certain guitars. So I did order all new parts, all new control plate, knobs. I just have a short bridge, and I'll tell you, I didn't do any kind of summation. I'm breaking all the YouTube rules. Hit the buttons below, whatever they are. I have a whole playing video, so I'm going to play through the bridge, or the neck, the bridge, in between, and then I'm going to put some dirt and a tiny bit of reverb on there, and then play with a little track. And that way you can hear what this guitar can do. Right out of the box, these are original strings that came with it. I did set the intonation, although I wondered why, since I'm going to put a whole nother bridge on here. But I did do that. And then nothing else was touched. It's all stock. So this is what you get. I ordered another back plate or neck plate, and I think I might have ordered strap screws too. You'd think I'd know that. They're all in a pile in a bag over there waiting. I've been waiting to do this video to attack this thing. Also, the pick guard, I'm going to trace this one. I assume it's a standard size, like you can buy one and put it on off of Amazon. But I'm going to trace this, and then I'm going to do a leather pick guard in tooled leather. And I'm also going to do a leather cover for the top. What am I talking about? I'm going to show you carefully so I don't break anything. I want to say hey to one of the folks that listens to the Billy Hale podcast and said that every time I turn around, you can't hear me. So I invested in a lavalier mic, or it's not a lavalier, it's a wireless mic, I guess. So you can actually hear me when I move around quite a bit. So this is my backyard scrap guitar. I put so many different things on it. It weighs about 98 pounds. and this guitar doesn't care. So this is an example of one of my tooled pick guards, and I'm going to do the one on the Tele all in black, but then I'm going to sand it down to this natural color underneath, which should look pretty cool. Here's my favorite part. Wait, it's coming, and it's here. The tooled cover for the head. I don't know, it just looks so good. So I'm going to do that to the Tele. The Tele's begging for it. Now, let me tell you something. I play a lap steel with benders on it, and I put benders on this Tele, and playing the Tele with benders is 100% not the same as playing a lap steel with benders. But I feel pretty certain I'm going to put these on that Telecaster as well and force myself to learn how to do something on the Tele. Although I tend to play blues, and blues and these benders don't really get along. Although I'd love for you to argue with me below. Send me a link to somebody who plays blues with a B and a G bender. That would be awesome. But yeah, so this is stripped down. I'm thinking about putting a P90, a dog-eared P90 Esquire-esque type thing on this guitar. I have that laying around. Oh, Lord. I have kept these guitars around for this video so that we could do it. So hopefully we'll be done tonight, and I can put all these guitars back where they belong. This is another KGD. Am I saying it right? I always feel like I'm getting the letters wrong. And this has a leather pick guard and a leather cap. Ow! Very simple. And then this great trim, and I have a whole video that you can watch on this, and I'll link to it. This has the shorty bridge on it, and this took quite a bit of mental maneuvering plus woodworking to get it rolling. I even color matched the paint so that I could get that going as well. You know, my wife has gone to get hamburgers and French fries, so I'm starting to feel a little compelled to wrap it up here. Oh, music. Have we talked about everything? I hope so. Leather. Oh, I'm putting gold foil pickups on this thing. Where are they? I just had them in my hand. Here they are. So one is from Victory Pickups. You can find them on Reverb. This is one he made me that I really like. Oh, that's a hair tie. That's not going to be a part of the build. And so this is going to go in the neck. Bingo. It will not sit flush on that pick guard, so I'm going to have to cut a hole and figure it out. I'm going to guarantee when I pull this off, this will be cut for a humbucker. But now that I say it, I probably ruined it. This was given to me by Oliver Wood of the Wood Brothers. This is like a 1962 Dearmond. It didn't work for years, and I decided to spend a whole day and fix it, and I did. And I know when it did work, it sounded great. So this is going in the bridge, and it should look awesome. And those two pickups should sound awesome. So that's the whole plan. Let's go listen to some music. All right. Hopefully this has done it for you. So the question is this viable telly that's a relic for almost no money? It's virtually free. I would say hell yeah, or heck yeah. Heck yeah. And you might need to take it if you can't do a little stuff on your own. You might need to take it somewhere and pay a guy $100 to make it just right. And you should probably order that nut because that'll save you some money if you do take it somewhere. If you know what you're doing and you have a little skill, you can make this into fighting shape in just about very little time at all. I like the way it sounds. You could leave these pickups. I think the high E is a little weak, but maybe you just need to, need to raise this bridge pickup just a hair under that high E section. Great weight. Looks pretty cool. I'm keeping it. And if you don't like it, you can send it back. They don't care. All right, everybody, please do all the things. I'm just trying to document all the stuff that's going on. What's happening next is I'm going to modify the living teeth out of this guitar. And that'll be my next video. So hit subscribe and you can find out when it happens. I got to go eat hamburgers and such. Bye, y'all.